Hello everyone, Mr. Martin here, and today I want to talk to you about Gale's Highlights and Notes feature and how you can efficiently organize your research using it. Our learning objective is, by the end of this presentation, students will be able to use the Highlights and Notes feature in Gale to organize their research. Okay, now why does organization matter? It's relatively easy to find information from a database. You enter your search terms, you click on a topic, and Gale provides you with a ton of resources to sort through. You can read them, you can listen to them, you can watch them. What's harder is collecting relevant information to your research question and project, and then record that information in a way that's easy to retrieve later. Okay, and when it's time to put everything together for your project, this really matters. You want to be able to find what you have researched, maybe go back to the source, and be able to cite that source. And you want to be able to do that quickly. So having an organized set of research really makes your life easier come project time. Okay, so let's watch and see how this tool can help you do that. Okay, so I'm just going to click into a random database and let me type in a topic that is pretty relevant at the moment. Let's look at artificial intelligence. Okay, and let's assume I don't know too much about artificial intelligence, so I'm going to just click on the basic information article. I'm going to scroll down, and I start reading, and I'm finding a lot of good stuff. Okay, I'm looking at my text features, like this blue box that has the key terms, and let's say this term algorithm is something that I want to remember for later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag over it and let go. When I do so, this little box will pop up. I can choose a color. I can annotate it. Definition of algorithm. And I can save that. And then when I click on it, you can see this is still saved. Okay. Now I'm just going to show you how this works. I really recommend using the color coding to highlight different types of information. So maybe I do all of my definitions in orange, and I do all of my historical information in blue. Okay, history of AI, and I'm just kind of quickly typing things in right now. When you do this, you're going to write much more detailed and relevant annotations than what I'm doing. Okay, so that's enough for this. Let's say I've read the article. That's all I wanted to highlight and take note of in that particular article. But now I'm looking to the side and I see more like this. And I am really interested in this history of artificial intelligence. So I'm going to click on this article. And this is going to give me some more. This is interesting. We have a tie to science fiction, so let me highlight it. I'm going to say this is still history. I can say ties to sci-fi. I can save it. And oh shoot, the bell rang, or the bell's about to ring, and it's time to go. Well, what do I do? In the past, you might just close your laptop and hope that you remember where you found this, right? Well, we don't have to worry about that. What we can do is follow these very few steps we can click on highlights and notes up here in the corner. Then I'm going to view all highlights and notes. I'm going to click that. And what this does is it's going to take me to a page. And I can see that my highlights and my notes from both articles are on this page. And I can also see that if I want it in MLA format, I just leave it. If your teacher wants you to have it in APA format, you click there and it'll change that. Okay. Now this is great, but it gets better. When I click send to, and I send this to my Google Drive, I'm going to get a message. And now, let's see what that did. What it did was it created a folder in my Google Drive, which is orange, to make it stand out a little bit. And it's created a Google Doc for me. When I click on this Google Doc, I can see a link to the articles. It takes me right back. I don't even have to go to the Canvas page to get right back to where I left off. My highlights still there, my notes still there. Okay. It gives me a bibliography, so I have my citations already created, which is great once your projects do. And I have my notes. And why is this relevant? I have my notes and I have the direct quote right here. Okay. One thing I'm going to highly recommend is that each time you have this, leave the date in the title, but I would change the title to reflect the topic of the research. And so even though AI is my general research topic, I'm going to say that I was pretty focused on history of AI. That way, when I'm scanning through my different documents that I make throughout my research, I can just quickly scan and say, oh yeah, I need something from my history of AI research. Okay? All right, guys. So this should help you quite a bit in your projects, and have a great day. Thank you.